not a very, very good player.
Makes sense.
Teamed together, I was like, okay, yeah, they're probably going to win, but we got to find out who's going to win this set as Cosmos starts it off with the Inkling, and I think a very conscious choice by him. Doesn't want to get edge guarded on Aegis, and doesn't want to get low profile by Pikachu.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that last. This character choice pretty solid here for Cosmos. And I mean, we know that Cosmos used to main this character, so the Inkling is definitely no slouch.
Back in the olden days.
Back in the good old days of Smash Ultimate when Inkling was a broken character.
The good old days before patches and DLC.
Before Minecraft, Steve. Before the dark times.
Well, at the end of every tunnel, my friend, there is light.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it might have been the light at the end of the disadvantage state for Storm, because he does finally manage to escape, gets a little bit of damage up on Cosmos, and those dash attacks are still serving him as well, up until he gets grabbed on the Town and City side platform.
Yeah, you cannot be getting grabbed on those side platforms, especially against Inkling. I mean, even Pikachu can kill you off the side at the right percentage. These small blast zones working out here for Cosmos. Storm has plenty of damage. I thought maybe we'll see the back throw there, but he goes for the up throw mix into the Thunder instead, maybe recognizing that Cosmos was DIing in. So
yeah, and I think that
I like the idea.
Unless Cosmos holds out there, I think that back throw doesn't quite kill. Pikachu back throw not that
I don't
strong.
think so either.
So I think if he gets him up to like 150, 160 and then grabs him in the corner, we'll definitely see a back throw, because that has a much higher likelihood of killing on Town and City, but that's neither here nor there. What is here is this combo starter from Cosmos that Storm is able to air dodge through and then get a drag down Nara into a down smash to even up our stock count. Great work.
Yep. Storm making effective use of their tools here. The dispatch of Cosmos' stock. Looking for that headbutt. Not quite going to find it, unfortunately. Cosmos getting a back air. Misses the grab, though. Here's the punish opportunity for Storm. Getting some drag downs into up tilt, but good DI there. Smashing out of that combination. Cosmos will avoid some of the percentage, but relatively even here and playing off this left side. Both players very aggressive off stage.
Yeah, Storm was really expecting Cosmos to try and drift out from underneath the stage, put him in a position where that falling back air could do big work. Cosmos, though, he's been around the block once or twice, so he's not going to fall for that. He recovers, hugging the stage, gets back up on. Now they're just both really looking for that first big starter hit. It's just a dash attack and it's just a smash attack. Neither one leading to too much more, so we stay neck and neck for the moment.
We will continue to be neck and neck until somebody finds this stock. I think that will swing the advantage in either player's favor here. Storm working on the stock right now, has the advantage state for the moment, getting a back air, recycling the situation. Cosmos finding a grab, triple pummel into the forward throw, setting up into the ledge trap, looking for a down tilt, doesn't quite find it. Storm going to the platform, trying to get back to center. The roller is going to be punished by the back air. Cosmos reeling a little bit, not expecting to get hit by that one. The headbutt. Cosmos electing to go for stage control, though.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite problem that ZSS with JoJo had in the previous set, where Pikachu's almost never going to stay grounded against Inkling, so that roller has to be a call out on a landing, or else you're never going to hit it. It's going to be shielded, it's going to be jumped over. Something is going to happen to make sure that you don't get that berry. Back air now puts Storm into a dicey spot, but the T-Jolts almost get him back to safety, and then another back air from Cosmos. Nobody's quite able to take the stock away, though. Zappy, we're talking about how important of a rubber band moment this is, and it's still not Cosmos that's able to snap forward.
Still alive here. Storm holding on this left side. Trying to plant their feet on stage, and they do, and the headbutt still isn't enough. It can't be any more even right now. About 1% separating the two. Or 0.9, as you said. There's a grab.
I'm saying 0.9 is the knockback, because that looked like it should have killed.
Yeah, it definitely should have. But there's the back air from Cosmos, finding that stock. And now last, will we see a swing here for Cosmos? Will we see an early advantage state? The Thunder given away, but no big punish from Cosmos.
Storm definitely trying a massive call out against Cosmos' over-aggression there that doesn't work out, but if it had, would have been a stock for sure. Now he's got to do it the old-fashioned way, a back air in the corner, an up air in the corner. None of it's connecting. So Cosmos knowing the exact spacing that he needs to maintain, and then getting that grab for a little bit more damage.
Yeah, this is when problems can begin to arise for Storm. as Cosmos tacking on so much extra damage here, maintaining center with these fading back airs. Is that going to be the punish? Up throw certainly going to do it, even on Town at that percent. And 75% tacked on, not out of the realm of possibility for Storm just yet. What were you laughing about, Laz?
I made the mistake of looking at chat and saw that somebody said, Cosmos is natural predator, some dude I've never heard of.
Very funny, chatter. Very
got
funny.
Me, I will admit.
Not bad.
But Cosmos certainly looking to close out this game one in favor, because sometimes the prey does win. Sometimes the antelope makes its escape.
We'll see. What's the bigger predator, the rat or the squid?
I think it's the squid, right?
I think so too.
I think I would bet on the squid.
I would say a squid is a more effective predator in the wild.
I think we're just going to have to see what happens here to find out for sure.
Yeah,
the mouse could always win.
That's very true. Finding a forward tilt. The down air almost connecting the sweet spot. That could have been curtains. They're able to make their way back. Cosmos snapping the ledge.
Oh, don't get Cosmos.
Yeah, I thought for a second.
Okay.
You're not making it out of that.
Yeah.
Down smash. Definitely going to connect there for Cosmos. And I thought for a moment that Cosmos was not going to make it back to stage. They had a tricky recovery, though, with the roller, and I don't think Storm was ready for it. Cosmos able to get back on stage and punish, but Storm looking pretty good so far.
And I think a really good answer from chat, too. I think depends on if we're in water or not. If I would bet on the squid or the mouse.
Of course the squid is going to win.
But actually,
I'm talking about both of them in their natural habitat.
Aren't squids, like, pretty good on land, too? Like, can't they, like, I don't know if this is squids or octopuses.
I feel like an octopus would be much better on land.
But there are, like,
aren't
there stories of, like squids escaping from aquariums?
Well, that's octopus.
That's octopus?
Yes.
Okay.
Octopus are known to be very clever creatures.
And squid are not?
Well, definitely not.
Are they, like, the dumb cousin?
They are just, like... They just don't have as big of brains as squid.
We keep coming back to marine biology. We love commentary
we love talking about the anatomy of animals and creatures. What can we say? We should have a podcast about that.
No, I'm good.
Man, all right, Laz, shut me down. All right.
I'm sorry, Zap.
It's okay. We're back into it, though. Storm finding a double up air. That Iron Tail connecting the headbutt, doing some more damage. Parry on the forward air, but still in advantage for the moment. Cosmos trying to get their feet planted back on stage so they can get something going, but Storm's aggression has been very effective so far in this first stock.
Trying to find a way to keep Cosmos from coming back on, but Cosmos just keeps recovering high, and Storm doesn't really seem to have an answer for it quite yet. Like right there, he jumped up high with the fair and still wasn't up enough to catch Cosmos, and so I think he's definitely starting to feel like, okay, my route of safety lies above Pikachu instead of below. I don't want to deal with like a Thunder Spike. I don't want to deal with like a Dare. But speaking of dares and spikes, Cosmos finds one instead to take that first stock.
Cosmos absolutely dunking Storm into the blast zone. Almost finding an up air kill. Storm trying to look for a stray hit. The dash attack is going to be the one that finds its mark. Once again, even here, some of the chat was talking about how Storm might be top 50 one day. It would be quite an achievement here to beat Cosmos in pools.
Quite the first step on the road.
A big step here. One small step for Pikachu. One giant step for Storm.
A giant leap, bro. Come on, you gotta at least get it right.
Sorry.
You gotta at least do it correctly.
I'll let you take care of it next time. Oh, goodness.
References only work when I do them.
Oh, man. Painting the stage pink is Cosmos as they roll on through. Up air is connecting here. The back and forth scramble situation. This set is so close between these two opponents. Dash attack once again. They continue to go back and forth. The ebb and flow of the fight.
This is what I call neutral.
100%. This is the real bread and butter of Smash Ultimate.
I mean, this is where legends are born, right? Is in the very careful, very patient neutral game. Storm that gets that hit, but then we just reset again. Cosmos starting to run a little bit low on ink. That could be a factor here in a second. Oh, just gets behind him. Really smart roll calling out the roller. And then a double dash attack is more than enough for that stock. Great stuff from Storm.
Mario Kart double dash, anybody?
I'd be down.
Two dash attacks there.
Lifetime Baby Mario main right here.
Where are we going?
Not to stage.
Yeah, not able to recover that time around. The quick attack didn't have the distance. And here he comes, swinging from the Angel platform, already 22% here, attacked onto Cosmos. The whiffed grab, Pikachu is just too small. Here's some drag downs into the up air. Thought the grab was coming, but not that time around. Still though, Storm's advantage state has been very, very effective thus far in the set.
Trying to position himself for that ledge trump early on, but I think Storm kind of forgetting where Cosmos was, because Cosmos was all the way up high. Quickly got back up on stage. Cosmos now in the advantage, slowly making back this deficit. 30%.
Parry.
And closing, but all right, Storm gonna widen the gap just a little bit. Back air and a fair in the corner.
94% here onto Cosmos though. Dangerous spot to be in. There's the back air. Connecting onto Cosmos, still has their jump. And air dodging and covering it was Storm, very smart. Can't find the third connection, but the forward smash on neutral getup from Storm and takes one over Cosmos in what was a very solid game number 2.
Very, very carefully piloted too from both players, but I think the props obviously have to go to Storm. You know, never really got antsy in the paint at any point during that game. Was always more than happy to sit back, let Cosmos swing and miss first, and then go for his stuff. I feel like while Cosmos was also pretty patient throughout that, we saw that extended neutral sequence from both of them. It was still Cosmos swinging first the vast majority of times. And while it did work out for him, sometimes I would say it was only like 40%. 60% of the time, it was Storm counter hitting and then just taking it to the bank.
Yep.
We do see the switch to Aegis and the switch to Small Battlefield. So a bunch of variables shifting, trying to make sure that this equation comes out Cosmos.
Yep. Should be 1-1 apiece here for Storm and Cosmos. A close set, probably the closest we've had so far last in this pool. Well, we're going to have to see.
And it's still, still so much left to go of it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot left
and we could still get what we got in our others, where we get like to game 3.
Yeah, we could.
3 stock coming up.
We'll see. We'll see if Cosmos can make some adaptations here. The Pyra and Mythra is out, as you said, and already at a disadvantage, and that's not a place you want to be versus Pikachu, especially if this Pikachu sends you off stage, because we both know Mythra recovery, not the greatest.
No. Not even the middest either.
No, definitely not. It's pretty bad.
But as long as you do stay on stage, you have a lot of tools against Pikachu. Like Pyra side B is actually pretty huge in the matchup for just covering space. Foresight's also really good against T-Jolt. Cosmos getting aggressive. Going off stage might be his undoing if Storm can position himself, but he can't quite get into the right place at the right time. Cosmos gets back up on stage and is likely thanking his lucky stars that he does so.
Yep. Down air aggression from Cosmos.
He really wants that back air.
Storm with the edge guard.
And he's going to die for it.
There it is. The back air down on that deep right side and
Cosmos
going coast to coast.
Tried for and was interrupted doing Pyra back air 3 separate times to close out that stock.
Yeah. Up tilt into up air here for Cosmos. Finding some damage. 110 onto this Pikachu. Still maintaining that third stock. Prominence roll. Going to connect the second time around, but not going to kill just yet. Not from that side of the stage, but down air will certainly do it. Pyra just absolutely decimating that stock from Storm, but still the aggression here, even off the Angel platform, you see Storm trying to maintain stage control.
Oh, gets the Thunder out. Cosmos is able to disengage and reset to continue the advantage state, but that was a really smart combo breaking tool from Storm. I think if he didn't mash it, he was definitely going like down B, down B, down B, down B to get the buffer out during disadvantage state. And if he didn't buffer the second down B, he actually would have been able to reversal Cosmos there. So just a victim of his own over-eagerness there. And that's going to lead to Cosmos converting it into a stock. But it was a really good setup by Storm.
Yeah. Cosmos beginning to understand the matchup here and what he's up against. 77%. Very healthy stock. Cosmos just trying to find a connection here. Storm not really giving it away, playing very safe. A nair isn't going to do too much. Maybe finding an up air after the fact, a forward air even. Storm beginning to set up this stock for a kill. Cosmos trying to get back to center, coming down with that nair. There's the side B to punish, and the Thunder doesn't go through the platform. It just zaps right into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and something Cosmos is slowly figuring out as the set goes on is that the less he jumps, the better positioned he is, especially to punish Pikachu landings. So you'll only really see him going for jumps in advantage state or to try an anti-air. Other than that, Mythra especially, she's got that insane initial dash speed on the ground. So you're very safe on the ground. You're not safe up in the skies, though. That is his domain.
Nope. Domain expansion here for
No,
Storm.
Scoot is gone. Storm beat him earlier.
Oh, Cosmos with a down tilt to forward air. Not going to be enough to kill just yet. 115 onto Storm. Still alive on this right side. Jumping right through the air dodge. And Cosmos whiffing 2 grabs. This is Storm's chance to now rack up some damage. Triple up air, 30%. But we're back to stage. Cosmos was DIing in just to make sure they could come back. Doesn't want to get cheesed out on the edge guard.
Cosmos, be careful here. You overcommit one time too many. But he does manage to get the dash back F tilt, and it's still not enough to KO.
Surprising.
No rage on Pyra means no kill for Cosmos, but the falling nair will surely do it, and indeed it's a screen KO for Cosmos to go up 2-1 in the set, winning that all-crucial Game 3.
Yeah, the clank there. Storm tried to swing.
It was like 3 kill screens.
Yeah, he swung a little too close to the sun, though, and catches that blazing sword from Pyra. Now Cosmos up 2-1. Pyra and Mythra looking a little bit better than the Inkling in this matchup, specifically for Cosmos. I think that's just because Cosmos is more practiced on Pyra and Mythra these days.
And I also can't claim to be an expert on the Inkling versus Pikachu matchup. I think other than Cosmos' Inkling, the last time I commentated an Inkling set was like Colorado at Glitch Infinite.
Yeah, long time ago.
And like the character's just not very common. Cosmos is obviously very comfortable with Inkling, but he's more comfortable with Aegis, I think it's fair to say.
Definitely. And comfortability goes a long way here, especially in these difficult matchups where you kind of have to rely on your reflexes and your bread and butters to really do the work for you in difficult situations. Mythra is out for the moment. Photon Edge just in neutral. Says, all right, I'm going to call you out. Gets a bit of damage there. Back air connecting for Storm and maintaining that stage control. I do like the way Storm switches between aggression and passivity. The way he kind of weaves in and out of the fight is very interesting to watch, and I think he's learning as he goes.
Yeah, especially for somebody so young, it's nice to see the ability to shift tempo like that, because that's usually like a very high-level skill that it takes players quite a while to develop. But Cosmos, he's actually, I would say, up there with some of the best of them in terms of maintaining tempo in a match. You know, you asked me like who are the absolute best at it. I would say it's like Tweak and DeBuzz of like dictating tempo, but Cosmos not that far behind, and so for Storm to be able to keep up with him like this and to be able to get him off the top like that bodes very, very well.
Yeah, effective play here from Storm. Going up the first stock, this could be a good chance to find themselves in the lead and maybe even take Cosmos to Game 5, but Cosmos sniping out on that left side with a blazing end and only 14% extra credit. Cosmos finding a grab, reverse back air, and dash attack as well.
Gotten that up air connection. I think he was hoping that Storm wouldn't air dodge for fear of burning it, because I believe the up B at that percent is true, but Cosmos was like, well, if I can catch him, I get more.
Yeah, maybe
this time, though, back air up B does the job.
Tries to get an optimal punish, which you can't really fault him for. Still in the lead for the moment, about 30% extra, but wow, that up smash almost killing.
At like 60.
Yeah, don't swing too much here on this Pyra. That blazing sword is definitely very effective at dealing with Pikachu. Slow as it is, it packs a punch.
I love seeing the shiny mark influence in all other Pikachus now these days too. Yeah, the around the world.
Yeah.
And only 80 days too.
That's such a good way to recover too.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
So
Name
broken.
one character who can fight that.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Diddy Kong can kind of do a similar thing too.
Yeah, because Diddy also has a wall cling. Like Bayo can do the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're all very difficult to stop when they're zooming around off stage.
Let me bypass ledge trapping real quick.
I mean, Pikachu also, like, once he gets to ledge, he can quick attack to center.
True.
He just says, no.
Yep.
You cannot ledge trap me without my consent.
It's the nature of the game. Some of them are just have more effective recovery tools, Pikachu definitely being one of them. It just shows the differences between these two characters. Pyra and Mythra, terrible recovery. Pikachu, excellent recovery. We'll see who comes out on top Because right now, the bad recovery seems to be winning.
I mean, Storm is buffering the crap out of that down B and disadvantage, too. He really wants Cosmos to get caught by it, but Mythra is so fast, so shifty with her hurt boxes that it's very difficult to catch her in reversal during her advantage state. It's usually more likely that you're just going to reset, maybe get like one hit.
Yeah. I think we're going to be maintaining the Pyra for the moment
And
because the stray hit is there. Prominence revolt from Cosmos, able to close out that set 3-1, but even so, Storm really, really impressive.
Promising stuff from young Storm, yeah.
Very impressive. Good stuff
Like
to
you said,
Cosmos,
though.
though.
And I believe that's Cosmos done for the day, too. I was taking a peek at bracket. I think he actually is done for, like, most of tomorrow, too. The lucky few who got Friday evening pools don't have to play until, like top 128, like Saturday at 4 p.m. or something.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
they get to wake up late. They get to enjoy the con. They get to walk around downtown Atlanta. I don't know why you would do that. That doesn't sound like very much fun.
It's not that bad.
But Cosmos has earned himself a spot in the next phase of bracket, suffice it to say.
Top 128 for Cosmos. I think Storm, with the way they've been playing, I think we'll certainly see them